Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second day of streaming in a row. How is everyone doing this day? DF Dennis, hey Ghost Dog, hey Phil. Everything looking and sounding okay? It's a little off of my schedule, so I want to make sure everything's good. Hey Derek, hey Jaeger, hey Biggerfish, hey Golden Jaguar, hey Lashlin. Who else we got here? Isaiah and Killer Prince and Charlie, Low Sync. Oh, and right to my shoulder. Hey Bill Brothers. Hey Happy Camper. Hey Martin the Engineer. Hey Delvin. Delmar and Jordan. Lucas and Hoodwink. How is everyone doing? How many people are off today? I know it's a US holiday, but it's probably a good time after work in some parts of the world, so. Hey Jokernut. Hey Major. Hey Travis. Hey Jordy and Chris and Phil. Rushmere. Let's see. Baby made sure I was awake. Hey William, hey Shadell, hey Keith, hey Renee and Stefan and moi. Hey Derek and Projects in Dad's Garage and Are You Kidding and Kirmaru. Scott, hey John. So, I promised at the end of this build series that I would do some sort of follow-up. My intent was always to do a standalone video and use that as practice to do a standalone video. I haven't gotten there. One day I will, maybe. So it's time for this to go to my friend so he can actually use it. So I figured I'd do an extra little short live, kind of a follow-up, talk about the things that we left off. It's a fully functional, very well printing device now. Oh, we're going all full parrot now. There we go. Just take a trip around my head. Hey, Queasy Diver and Malfrey, Enrique, Chris, Valentin, Martin, and Benjamin, and Verst. YouTube notification within 7 seconds. Hey, Eric from Georgia. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I have done probably a little under 70 hours of printing on it. I did this print last night because it was suggested that I should try this lattice cube print, and it's turned out pretty well. I know, 2 streams in a row. Don't get used to it. Hey, Mr. Joddity. Hey, Nutty. Hey, Zenbender. Hey, DJ Natty. Hey, Eclipse. So what we're gonna do is there was a few things that weren't quite working when we left off. So I'll talk about what it took to get those working, and maybe we'll try a semi-speed benchy as the print of the day, because I did do a few back when this was first built at varying success. So mostly this is just kind of a, let's talk about it, let's chill, hang out for probably a couple hours. Hey, Pex Peppers. Hey, Paul. So, I have built, so this is the original, the earlier Ender 3 to Switchwire conversion by Dark Dog. And I have built the Rev 2. I did not do any coverage on that because it was supposed to be a quick build. It was for my father-in-law for Christmas. So he is using it and it works. Hey, Diego. Hey, Mr. V8 Rick, and Verst, and Jose. Hey, Jean-Paul, what is the spool holder for this build? So this is a spool holder that I modified for my switch wires. And the files are out there. They're either on the Voron users GitHub, the mods page, or they're on my own. I think they're on the Voron users page. But it uses the same switch wire spool holder. It just has a different mount that mounts to the side of the frame. This goes on just like the other one. Losing the filament. There we go. And then there's a PTFE holder up here. Is there a Switchwire conversion for the non-Pro Ender 3? I believe there are modifications for that. I couldn't point you directly to one though. Check the Ender 3 to Switchwire conversion thread on the Voron Discord. Someone will be able to point you to it. 42 likes, no one touch it. As cool as that would be, we should not do that. Hey, Squirrel Brain. Hey, Collie. What's different on V2? So V2, so this, the build here is not quite as set up to be enclosed. So on V2, it extends the front all the way out beyond the travel of the bed. So it extends it way out here. So it's my modded edition. Yes, I did do quite a few mods on this. Dark Dog was super good about taking feedback and incorporating some of the changes I suggested into the Rev 2. So, hey Ari, been printing Trident parts on my Ender 3 Pro. May need to eventually mod the Ender using parts printed on the Ender to complete the circle of life. There you go. Our cat Sydney says hello, Charlie. Well, Charlie is in his spot, not his spot, his other spot. Spends almost as much time in both spots. Hey, Colin. So, is there a conversion to replace those horrible linear rails with V wheels? You're funny, John. Hey, Burnt and Phoenix. Digging the tunes. It's the same tunes I play every week, every stream. The exact same one. It's terrible. I'm horrible about mixing that up, but apparently it's okay. Where can you get pre-cut enclosure? A lot of places will do custom cuts. I know Nimgria at MN Laser Cutting will do custom cuts if you message them. How about proximity sensor? The PCB only has 5 volts. How have you used a 12 to 24 volt proximity sensor? And I saw your question there in the comments, Carlos. I was going to get to that. It depends on which PCB. And I didn't use a PCB on here. So just I don't believe I did. Just a refresher on the build for me and you. I did not use, let's go here. I use individual connectors there. Every individual connector. I'm not using a toolhead PCB. And everything closes just fine. So, the audio fits the pace of the stream. Nice and chill. Awesome. So I am using an Omron. It's covered in some foil tape because I grabbed this from one of the LDO kit builds. This is an Omron sensor. It goes back and plugs directly into the controller. Now, if your question is about where I picked up voltage for that, I can show you that when we go into the deck. So remind me, Carlos, when I pull the bottom panel off and we start looking at this, I'll show you how I wired up for this 24 volt proximity sensor. So there is not a specific spot to grab 24 volts. You're right, on the controller. And then for this, I didn't use a tool head board. So, hi James, hi Gary. So yeah, tool heads all good. So things that didn't work at the end of last stream, it didn't actually print. It extruded plastic. I think I ended up printing later, and the screen didn't work. And then let's go ahead and pull this print off so things are out of the way. So I printed this on it last night. This took 4 hours. Let's see. Let's go to our history. This lattice cube took 4 hours and 22 minutes. So that's not too bad. It's kind of neat. It's 3x3 there. 4 by 4 there, 3 by 4 there. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't have this particular filament tuned in either. If you're using CAN bus, you can pull 24 volts off the main feed to it. Absolutely. I'm not using CAN bus though. Hey, Putty. Why? I need to disable. So for some reason, Uber Eats wants to constantly remind me about things on my phone. And I've never ever ordered an Uber Eats. Okay, I'm going to heat up the tool head just enough to pull this filament so I don't have to deal with this while we're opening it up and covering a few things. So let me just heat this up to about the minimum I can get away with to pull the filament. And that should do its thing. Foil tape won't affect the sensing. It does not. It's fine. You want to make sure that it doesn't extend down below the sensor, but otherwise it's fine. Hey, David. Hey, Jamie. I have an Octopus left over from my 2.4 build because I went with the Octopus Pro. Is that overkill for a conversion? It's bigger than you need. There's not a lot of space underneath these. Even on the Rev 2, there's not a ton of space under there for controllers and the like. Been watching the original streams for the Enderwire. Looks like such a fun build. It was, and it works really well. Now, one thing to note. So I built this one on stream with the Ender3 Pro that I ordered off of Amazon quite some time ago. I never really used it much. I printed a little bit with it. I used that as the conversion. The frame turned out pretty good, pretty square. Things line up everywhere on the, like the top extrusion lines up with the side extrusions, everything's square. The one that I built for my father-in-law was not so much. There's like a bit of these don't line up by an amount that you can feel quite a bit. I made it square, everything works well, but your mileage may vary, and that's part of why these Enders and stuff are so cheap. So, this is up to temperature, so I'm just gonna do a manual pull and then cool down. So, we might get another Charlie visit here. I'll put this off to the side. We'll probably grab the same filament as this for another benchy test. Because I have, since this build, I have swapped out the hot end. So I originally built this with the, I don't remember. I'm terrible at remembering the name of that thing. Let me find it. It is the Protoprint something. Got it somewhere. Anyway, the heater block on that is, there's Charlie. Balancing on the micro, uh-oh, whoa. Sorry, that was probably loud. The heater block on that was too big, so I swapped in a Dragonfly. Hey, Polish Ed. Yes, thank you, DJ Natty. Protoprint Raptor. The heater block was just too big, and I think it was impacting cooling. So I swapped it out for a Dragonfly. And you know, look at that 16-year-old cat jump. Nearly 16. He's just very anxious for some attention. Hey Ronald, yeah, today's the Washington's birthday. Or U.S. holiday, but I work for state government, so I get all those off. Well, not all of them, because they took away a few and then replaced them with something else. I'll use a Dragon standard flow. Is it okay? Absolutely, that'd be fine. That heater block just on the Raptor is just, it's pretty large. What's the agenda for the Underwire? So we're just gonna cover, just kind of hang out and chat about it. There's no real format schedule. I don't have a list of things I want to cover. It's mostly answering questions and going over what I remember. And we're gonna do probably I wouldn't call it a speed benchy, but a quick benchy print, something that we can probably finish while we're chatting. So we're gonna aim for about a 30-minute benchy, which is I think what this one was before I made some changes, and I think this one here was a 30-minute benchy that actually didn't turn out too bad. And that I'm missing light. That's what's going on. Let's turn that on. That on. There we go. A little better. Just a caution for anyone getting an SVO6. The bed heater wire has a tendency to get caught in the undercarriage. Oh, that's not good. So... Oh, and I was scrolled up again. I use a Revolver on hot end for mine. Yeah, that'd be a great idea, especially for something like this where you're probably not going to outrun the flow of that. I have ran input shaping calibration on this. I use the regular sensor. I used it attached to the carriage for X, and then I attached it to the bed. I think I used double-sided tape to attach it to the bed to get Y. With the dual Y rails, could you put tap on an Underwire? I would have to measure deflection at the corners under about 800 grams of weight. I think there's probably still too much deflection. Love the Underwires. I have 2 enclosed and running and 1 in progress. How much is an Underwire kit? I don't believe there are kits out there. So, was that benchy with PLA? Yeah, all these have been PLA. Everything I've printed on this has been PLA. So, let's see. This is just about cool enough to turn the whole thing off, and we'll flip it over and show a little details of what the underside looks like. Oh, here, let's put you over here, see if you'll settle. Did you do any further mods, changes to the printed parts after the last Underwire stream? No, not a bit. Everything is as it is. There are probably a few things I might have changed, but there's no reason to at this point. Maybe the attachment of these front accent pieces with screws like on the Rev 2, that kind of thing. So stock Steve modded, yes. Any issues with the XZ motors? No. These Creality motors, these are the motors that we used off of the Ender3 Pro. And I pulled those pressed on pulleys off with that puller that you saw during the streams. And these are working fine. They might be a little louder than something nicer, but I'm not gonna change them. The Rev 2 that I built, I did put some bigger steppers on, but I don't think they're any better than these in terms of just the ability to work, right? Well, looks like he might settle down, so let me see about getting the camera over here. Let's go with that. There we go. Finally got myself a good PC so I can stream and use Fusion at the same time. Good. Someone mentioned the Micro Center 2.4 kits, and those are interesting. It actually adds up to a reasonable price, I think. I think I saw someone mention that. I don't know anything about them, though. I'm not having fun with the second Rev. Either I did something or they didn't fit the frame like I thought. Oh, I'd be interested in what that is. There are some changes I need to relay to Dark Dog on Rev 2. A big part is the lower skirt here. There's a version similar, and the way it attaches and stuff, I have some suggestions. So, Jordan, thanks for the gift and memberships. So a Z-controlled AB style like on, yes. So this is, Benjamin, this is a Core XZ machine. So it's basically a Core XY flipped up on end. And then Y is controlled by its own stepper. Hey, Salmon. Hey, Takuya. Yeah, it's exactly a Core. Now, interesting, Clipper didn't support Core XZ until RCF PR'd it. It's a simple change, but the Switchwire introduced Core XZ to Clipper. Now it was in Rep firmware and Marlin before that. So, okay, this is cooled down enough, so let me shut it down and we'll go over the couple of things from the last stream that weren't working. So the big thing is the display. So this is powered off. Did you see the Core XYZ videos? I saw the videos, I haven't watched them. I saw the links to them. I have seen the belt paths on those and it's nuts. Hey, Russell White. I picked up an Ender3 Pro for $99. That's probably a pretty decent foundation then for this. End up with a fairly reasonable costing printer. Okay, we're just gonna flip this on its side. Hey, Tohos. Remember, for 9 months. Keep up the good work, give me a lot of ideas. Awesome. We're nearly at 2 times 42 likes. Okay, so let's just pull the bottom panel off here. Yes, it has a bottom panel. That was my doing. I believe Rev 2 has a bottom panel now. Okay, so let's set this aside. $99 is cheaper than a V0 extrusion kit. Is it really? V0 extrusions have gone up in price then. Hey, Timor. Hello. That gantry drops on its side. So yes, so we built this with a Big Tree Tech SKR Mini E3 V3. That was the core problem with this little adapter board. So this is an adapter board I bought from DFH. This one, I did not buy from DFH. The one that I put in here on stream I did, but I bought the wrong one. So there's a different board depending on if you're running a V2, Big Tree Tech SKR Mini E3 V2 is a different board than the V3. And I had the wrong board. And that's what actually caused us to burn the SD card. We actually saw smoke in this build. So burn the SD card and the display didn't work. But fortunately it didn't burn anything else. I bought the correct V3 adapter board and we replaced the SD card and things are working. I am using a Raspberry Pi 02W. And for the question earlier about power, I grabbed power for the probe from this little header that's a power header down here. It's a 4-pin header and you can get 24 volts right there. Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, Dutch dude. Hey, Think Leet. Maker Source, hello. Steve, it looks different, such as Gizzle mod, that Enderwire conversion. Very, very, I mean, a basic idea. I got my 2 Pi CM4s this week. Ooh, thanks to a chat member a couple of weeks ago. I would need, if anybody has any tips on where to buy a CM4, I know Pi Locator, but they haven't been in stock. I would like to get a hold of a CM4 with Wi-Fi at some point. It's not a hurry. I can always wait. I want to try it along with these Manta boards and compare it to the CB1. Just started my Tiny T build, no preloads necessary. Oh, there you go, yep. Where'd you get those long ribbon cables? I can't find them anywhere. I bought these off Amazon. So let's go back to these are just an Amazon ribbon cable for the display. Never seen an SD card burn. Oh, we burned it. It was bad. I don't know if I still have it around here somewhere. Omron works with 12 or 24 volts. Correct. It works better at 24 volts. Can you really get decent Wi-Fi with the 0TW under? Yes, it seemed to not be a problem. All my Raspberries were working. This is when I had the old network too. I've never had any problems with Raspberry Pis in my workshop here. I had the problem with the generic USB Wi-Fi on the Solid Fork, but that problem actually went away when I switched over to my Unify network. I have an extra CM4 with Wi-Fi if you need it. If you DM me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would be very interested. I will pay market price for that. So, hold on just a second. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me catch up. Hey, Troy. Cable makings and crimper is cheap for ribbon cables. It is. I've not actually made my own ribbon cables though. I've never had to. In all my years and starting in IDE hard drives, I've never had to make my own cables. Hey, Flame. Ubiquity is great. Did you go Dream Machine or with extra access points? I didn't do Dream Machine. I have a USG and then I have 2 access points. So, okay, what else do we have going on here? So I ended up using, if you remember, I ended up using a little Wago connector here because I didn't want to solder new power wires for the bed. So, and they're not quite long enough. So I used a Wago connector to extend those bed wires. I did something very similar. I think I used an XT60 between them for the Rev 2 that I built for my father-in-law. It's Wojeki. That's this is a 2W. It's the better one. So I make custom ribbon cables from old parallel port cabling. There you go. Yeah, one of my access points is an AP Pro and the other one's a U6 Lite. The U6 Lite is here in this garage, so I get great signal now. I haven't actually mounted it yet because I'm gonna be doing some work in here. Mini splits going in, and I was gonna do a ceiling cassette mini split, but I might actually do a wall mount right over here instead. And the wall mount's a little less expensive than the ceiling cassette and a little less disruptive. Hey, Joseph. Does the Enderwire use less belt length on the XZ than the BOM Switchwire? It's probably really close. It's probably almost exactly the same. Projects in Dad's Garage. So other than that, I don't think there were any real questions. The display, it was all about the adapter I bought. I bought the wrong adapter. You need the one for the SKR Mini E3 V3 It needs to match the controller for that adapter. Alternatively, if you were using a full-size Pi, or if you had a micro USB cable, you could run one of those clipper display boards. I don't have one handy, but you could run USB to the display with one of those adapter boards. I just managed to get a Pi for 8 GB via the official distributor at a reasonable price. Awesome. Yeah, Adafruit around in the US here has been getting stuff in stock. They just haven't had compute modules in a long time. Keep an eye on standing in the cassette's outflow of wind, considering microphone wind noises. Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I'm gonna move the location, so that might help. Well, it's almost second quarter, so supposedly Pi will flow like water. Hope so. Any other questions about the electronics and layout? One of the things I added to the build was the way that the rear fan mounts. So I made a little sandwiched mount here for a 60mm fan for general cooling in here. And then I did a skirt piece for the power inlet that was included in the Ender 3 Pro. On the Rev 2, Dark Dog rotated this 90 degrees. Although if my suggestion would be, because he rotated it 90 degrees to where the power plug is on top and the switch is on the bottom, and I'd probably flip that if it was me. Sorry for flooding with the same question, but can you show the Omron cables? Yeah, Carlos, we talked about the Omron cables a few minutes ago, but I can show you again. Here. So, you see this wire right here is the power wire for the Omron probe. And you see I would go into a DuPont connector to this little 4-pin connector here, because that gives 24 volts. You're right, there's no other spot on this controller to easily get 24 volts. You can go into one of these here, but it's not as convenient and easy. So that's where I got power. And then let's confirm, I probably plugged, yeah, I plugged the probe into this 5-pin connector here. And you see the blue on the end and black in the middle. Blue is actually ground, I believe, on the Omron, and black is a signal. So that's the Omron Pro wiring. So power from this little 4-pin connector down here, and then ground and signal on the 5-pin Z probe connector. Does that help? And no problem on that, spamming questions. If I see it and I think you're saying too much, I'll mention it. But if I didn't cover something, the only way to capture it in chat sometimes is to just ask again. It is a Big Tree Tech board, John. XC belts were 10 centimeters too short. They were originally for an Ender conversion. Didn't know if the issue is it went to BOM instead. I don't know that they are the same projects in Dad Garage. I think they should be very close, but if they're not exactly the same, yeah. Any specific reason the power plug and the PSU are so far apart? Just packaging. There's not quite enough room right here. There might be barely enough room here for this larger power supply. This is the Meanwell that comes with the Ender 3 Pro. So as far as just component distribution, this is what works. And this isn't too bad. This is away from everything. You got this 40-40 extrusion right down the middle that kind of divides the compartment, the electronics compartment. Benjamin McGill, I think there's 24 volts on all 4 pins, but you'd want to look at the pinout diagram to check, or use a meter to check it. I really like how your electronics looks neat, even almost no cable management channels. Well, I try. Hey, Vincewall. One of my underwires has some vertical line artifacts. You think it's belt or something else? It's hard to tell. It could be PID on the bed. It could be your Z rails. Could be tension. Yeah. Hey, Yuan. 4040. Yeah, this is a 4040 extrusion. The side extrusions are 4040s. The center extrusion's a 4040. There is a notch cut out of this center extrusion to lower the Y extrusion. How are the stock Ender motors holding up? Great. I haven't had any problems with them. How much height is there for the PSU or board compared compartment available? Let's say if I'd go DIN rail for both with your feet mods. You've got to the bottom of the panel, you have, let's just kind of guess here. There we go. You probably have an extra 25 millimeters. So if you're, and then you still want some room for your fan. So you either cut a hole in the bottom of your panel and let that come and set flush with your bottom panel, and then you might be able to get away with it. Hey, Jason. Anyone make a mod for adjustable feet for leveling? My counter isn't exactly level. I haven't seen that, but it's probably a good idea. I haven't seen a mod for that, though. And the new V2 you built, you got more room in the front to mount the PSU on the side. Yes, on the V2, the PSU is rotated this way and mounts right along here. And then the outlet, the power, or the terminals are right along here and just go straight there. I just wanted to say I appreciate your videos. I follow your video and just finished last week building my 2.4. Awesome, thanks, Marshall. There were found good for space that installed extra system cooling fan more at the bottom from the MCU. The cooling, well, we've got a power supply fan and then this 60 millimeter fan back here. The idea is just agitate the air in the compartment. With the bottom panel on here, there is some airflow. There is an exchange of air, and that's all you really need. Hey, Eric. So eBigford 34 in the chat is who this is going to. I think I've mentioned that when he's stopped by previously. So finally gonna get it over there. Maybe today. I don't know. What are you doing? You gonna be around? Do you have an estimated cost to convert an Ender 3 into a Switchwire? My old Ender, lonely and sad. You're gonna need 5 MGN12 rails, and I think they're all 300 millimeter long. You're gonna need, you could recycle the controller. I didn't. You're gonna need extruder parts, mini stealth burner, whatever your preferred extruder is. You need about 20 bearings, belts, cable chains. I don't know what all that costs though. Andres, member for 2 months. Thank you. Hello again. Hey, Switz. And opinions on converting an Ender 3 Max. Is that a very large build volume? What's the build volume on that? You just start getting to have a heavy bed, all the things. Vertical artifacts mean it's bouncing up and down on the x-axis. That looks like vertical lines, so maybe tightening wheels on the head's axis. You're working today. Okay. Is a CAD for the panels available? Yes, I believe so. At the very least, I put the whole CAD assembly, including panels, out on my GitHub. So you can grab DXFs off of that. Hey, Maurice. Bearings, belts, screws, yeah, all the various things. Is a CAD for the panels? Oh, I already answered that. 310 by 320. I mean, a lot of people have converted like CR10s and similarly sized printers to a Core XZ Switchwire style system. How do you think about add 2 of 5 volts from MCU to Pi 02W because of a single 5 volt input will display undervolt and throttled warn on main cell UI? It depends on your setup. I don't get undervolt errors on this, and I'm powering it from the controller. So if you're, depending on your setup, you may have to add some sort of auxiliary power. On the Rev 2 that I gave to my father-in-law, I used one of the spec buck converters from V0. I had an extra one, so that's what I used to power a Pi 3B, I think it was. Is it reasonable to use NGN9 for Z? So for this build, it's all V slot. So a V slot has on the profile, now we can set it on its top. If you look at the profile of the extrusion, it's the surface that your rail has to go on. Since it's a V slot, since there's an angle to this extrusion slot, that width there is barely under 9 millimeters. So you don't have enough surface area there to reliably bolt an MGN9 to it. So this is really MGN12 minimum. The Ender3 Max has the same distance between the bottom side 40/40, but longer Y 40/40 and 20/40. Okay. Steve is one of my very few people I trust to build something for me, as he has the same attention to detail. Probably why we have been friends for 25 years, at least. Has it been 25 years? It's probably been more than that. Are you planning on doing a CAN bus on your 2.4? Probably at some point. I am planning on doing CAN on the Micron that I'm building right now. So we will get some CAN, on-stream CAN content very soon. Opinion on using Stealth Burner versus Mini Stealth Burner for this build. There isn't unless it exists in the mod community, there is not a Mini Stealth Burner mount for Switchwire and its belt setup. Hey Joshua. My buck converter is not working good, sometimes voltage down to 4.65 volts. There's a lot of buck converters out there of varying quality. The ones that are in the V0 sourcing guide seem to be pretty good though. I don't remember what the brand is. Okay, let's put the bottom panel back on. So I think we've covered all the stuff down here. Yeah. How has this conversion been printing? I think I answered. It's been printing well. I'm happy with it. It's a great PLA, PETG, probably TPU. I haven't tried TPU on it. It's not enclosed, so any of those filaments that'll do well, not enclosed, it should do fine. Hey, Christian. Okay. Let's plug it back in. And we need to do something because we couldn't do this last stream. Let me power this thing on. What do we need to do that we couldn't do last stream? Anybody know? Would you consider drilling and tapping extrusions on video? That would be messy. If I get the other garage really set up, I could potentially do other content from that garage. But in here, it would be tough. Drilling and tapping extrusions on video in here is tough. It just gets messy. It prints ABS very well with the enclosure. I would imagine. My Switchwires print ABS very well with their enclosures. I just didn't bother enclosing, even the Rev 2, I didn't bother enclosing it. The person who has the Rev 2, my father-in-law, is almost exclusively PLA and PETG as well. Misumi extrusions don't have that V-slot. Correct. Misumi extrusions are a different profile. Maurice has got it. We got to pull the screen protector. We couldn't do that. It wasn't a proper build at the end of the build series. It pushed plastic. That was the goal, and I wanted to move on to other builds. But it didn't print an object. So I have left the screen protector on here just for you, just so we can do a peel on screen. That's pretty. Underwire by Steep Build. Screen protector, yep. What was the outcome on crimpers? The outcome on crimpers. I'm still not a fan of the Taiwan-built Engineer PA09s. I don't think that the Japan-built Engineer PA09s are all that wonderful. I like the iWist. The 2820s that I use, I like. So, okay, so let's pull the, let's do a peel. It's kind of stuck under the edge there, but there we go. Nice fresh screen for you, Eric. One more question, Steve. Is there no warped deck cover after printed? What do you mean warped deck cover? The decks here are just ABS sheets that I cut out. I cut these. I actually cut these on my MPCNC when I had it. The Rev 2 ones were I cut those on my Shapeoko. What I want to see at the end of the stream as a closure, how the 80s themes Trident is going or showing the printed parts again. I can show the printed parts again. It hasn't started. That build hasn't started yet. Yeah, and that's funny. I was reviewing this build series last time, and I noticed that's the first time I showed those printed parts, and I still haven't used them. It's terrible. Peeling a screen protector is a thing. Of course it is. Of course it is. If Steven was around, is Steven here? He might see it in the VOD. I will find it hilarious if this entire stream is just to pull that screen protector. You're right. We're done, right? I get to go do my other stuff. 48-minute stream. Still have my screen protector on and a lot of uncut zip ties on my latest build. No uncut zip ties. Come on. Cut your zip ties. When I printed ABS Plus, that deck cover will bend at every corner side. If your deck is ABS, it shouldn't bend. None of my decks on any of my printers that are made out of ABS or the cast acrylic that LDO uses have warped or bent or anything. So I'll have to print some matching blue stepper motor end caps. You could. You might want me to print them, because unless you find some good PETG that matches, PLA won't take the heat from the steppers. They don't get hot. They're probably about 40 or 50 C at the max that I've felt on them, but printed most of these parts and then realized there was a Rev 2 branch after your vids. I kind of like the Rev 1 here. I like the smaller printer. The Rev 2 brings it out brings it out to about here. Oh. It brings it out to about here. Because it's designed to fully support the enclosure. So the Rev 2 is a much bigger printer. Hello. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. You've told me before. Oh, is that Dark Dog? Is that the icon? That's why I printed the Rev 1 too. And I did use the original steppers. PLA will just form to shape to the motor. There we go. There we are. Okay. Hi, Dark Dog. I apologize for that. I haven't seen you on here in a while, and I don't know how to pronounce that. So let's get this going for a print. Any other questions before I get it started printing? How fast can it print? I still haven't run Input Shaper on mine, but I'm very interested. So this cube, this lattice cube here, I printed at about 100 millimeters per second. It took 4 hours and 22 minutes. It's 2 perimeters, 15% infill. So, is it also longer in the back? No, it's pretty, no, the bed at the rear stops before it doesn't change. Here's the bed at its max, or at Y min, this is where the bed is. And then all the way out here is Y max. So. Everyone should say hi, Dark Dog. It's done a good job with this. I'm pleased with both of them that I've built. I do have some suggestions on Rev 2 though. Is there a practical way to build V2 but with a smaller V1 footprint? I don't know. That's a good question. Because a lot of V2 is just the way the bottom part of the chassis is laid out. Much of the rest hasn't changed much. Some of the suggestions I made on bolt lengths and stuff for these were incorporated, but not much else is really that much different. It's all down in here for Rev 2. Do you print the cube fairly fast? If you want to share the STL, you can. Oh, I printed the cube fairly fast. Yeah. I would have to share that somewhere. I'm not sure where, but we can do that. Look the printer, look at Anycubic. Love to do something similar. Did the conversion shift the plate forward? Yes, by a little bit, I think. It's 20 millimeters forward because you shift this Y extrusion and you have to use some T-nuts to get the other, and different bolts to use the 4 bolts to mount this this Y extrusion here to the cross extrusion under here. Is there a version for the original Ender 3? I believe there is, but I wouldn't be able to point you to it. I'm not sure. While we're talking about that stuff, let's go here. Let me post a link to the GitHub for this. So here's the GitHub. So if you go to the branches here, here's Rev 2. So if you want to see Rev 2, you need to go to the Rev 2 branch. And there are, looks like CAD files were cleaned up, small correction to parts, added to printable deck files, and then a bunch of things to make the deck a little more enclosure friendly, basically. Someone needs to make a conversion where the XZ gantry moves and Y and the bed is fixed. You talk to John, Proper Printing, about that. Okay, let's get back into here. So we are going to start a faster than my settings right now. We're going to aim for about a 30-minute benchy and see what it looks like at the end. Rev 2 equals release 2 by now. So I'll clean up the bed. If anyone know if the enclosed one can get a serial, absolutely. They get a Switchwire serial number. As long as you follow all the other serial rules where you require the deck panels in place, managed wires, and it has no V wheels. You can't leave any of the V wheels on. So John did the big Creality moving gantry setup. It wasn't core anything, but he did that big giant moving gantry across the bed series. Okay, let's talk about settings. So in the printer config, based on the accelerometer testing I did, I have set the max acceleration to 8,000. I don't hit that, I don't think, in most areas of the slicer, but that's what I set as max acceleration there. If we bring up Prusa Slicer with the printer profile and go over here to speeds, say perimeters, I run at 4,000. So for all of this, I'm pretty much maxing out at 6,000. There's no news on the non-Reddit serials process. It's just one of those things that'll get poked at and worked on occasionally, and eventually it'll show up. And then if you notice the others, this is mostly in the 100 millimeters per second range. And that's what I use for just general printing on this. And things turn out looking pretty good. So what we want to do though, is bring up a Benchy. I'm sure I've got a Benchy I've downloaded at some point. Benchy? No? Okay, we'll go download a Benchy. Oops, I did not type that correctly at all. There we go. Any plans for mini stealth burner on EW? What's EW? I want to just leave a single V-well somewhere, serving no function at all. Your serial will be denied. Put the V-well as a tension adjust knob. Got to run, going to pick up quartz slab. Oh, awesome. See you, David. Okay, we are going, oh, what is this? Chopstick holders is the latest contest. Interesting. Let's go 3D Benchy. Is that gonna give us just the regular? There we go. Someone has it here. I don't know who, but let's go down here and grab just the single color 3D Benchy. Here we go. Download. I've made a smaller version of John's proper printing made for an Ender3 Pro. There we go. Hi, Kyle. Oh, Enderwire. Thank you. No, there isn't a mount that I know of, unless someone's done it in the mod community to put a mini stealth burner on an Ender anything. Okay, let's go back to the slicer and add the 3D Benchy. Oh, I did have another one there. Okay. Make sure to put only in front of that search. Okay, Benchy. So what is our slice time right now at the default profile? My regular default profile puts us at 1 hour and 18 minutes. So we need to up that. We need to up that. We need to see what we can do to get this down to about 30 minutes. So our volumetric flow is very low right now. We're not hitting anything. Nothing is hitting above 6 or so. If you look at the colors, and there's a chart here that Charlie's in the way of. There's a chart there in the corner that relates the colors to the volumetric flow rate. So, hey Scott, we're not gonna try for sub 10 minutes. I want this printer to be working when I give it to Eric. make it smaller. So let's look at some of the settings. And I am not, let's make sure, okay, 2 perimeters. We don't need 5 up and lower. I don't know, what is the standard for the benchy speed runs for top and bottom layers? What's the standard for top bottom layers? I think it's 2 perimeters is standard. Top bottom layers and infill. What should I be setting these to work towards my goal of the 30-minute benchy? I'm not going to change layer heights. I'm going to do 0.2 millimeter layer heights. We're not. I want to try to get right in the what the speedboat race challenges have been. 3 top and bottom. Okay, so let's go 3 top and bottom. And what do we do for infill? Right now I'm at 15%. What should we be at for infill? I got mine at 10% and it takes 1 hour and 17.2. So let's go 10%. If someone tells me I should do something different, let me know. And let's see what this does. 0.25 is allowed. I'm still gonna do 0.2. So now we've only cut a few minutes off of this. It's 1 hour and 9 minutes. Now it's going to be quicker than that. Prusa Slicer, the way I have it set up, overestimates the time. So we are saying 2.5 layer height, huh? Or 0.25 layer height? Should it be 0.25 layer height to do the whole thing? I'm gonna change my infill accelerations all the way up to the max firmware. I'm going to probably, let's lower our perimeter just to get some quality on here. And I'm gonna change my defaults here. Hey, Arthur. You can also combine infill for every 2 layers. Let's up those. I just tweaked the accelerations. Let's see what that does to the estimated time. It didn't change it. 1 hour and 9 minutes. Pulled from the rules. Line width 0.5, max height 0.25, 2 walls 10% infill. Okay, well let's go with the settings here. 0.25 millimeters and combine infill every 2 layers. Two walls 10%, max width is 0.5. I'm gonna leave my 0.4. Do I want to leave that or do I want to change it? Is there where's the combined infill every 2 layers? We'll check the max flow too. 0.5 line width. Let's go to advanced. Should we go 0.5? I think it will not go below 42 minutes. I did a 30-minute benchy. Let's go ahead and do 0.5. I'm gonna check. Are we back? Okay, are we back? So we're back, but my setup is not. So this happened during a members only stream a couple of months ago or last month. And it's not YouTube. I did something, I bumped something and it killed the Thunderbolt connection to my laptop. Now what that's done is killed my capture card. So now I don't have any of my other cameras. This camera works because I have it connected via its own capture card, a USB capture card. So now if I try to go, say, the overhead cam, it's not working. If I go to the close-up cam, it works. We may try, because this would be a real pain in the neck, we may try to use the close-up cam from here. Charlie cam is still on. Shoot. But my Stream Deck stops working because the USB hub that plugs into it gets reset. This is the second time this has happened. So I would have to completely restart, power off everything, and restart the whole computer. I'm gonna try not to do that. Hey QC. Let's see if let me see if I can get my Stream Deck back up and running, because it's not. It's telling you to build a streaming desktop. That's not a terrible idea, but my Stream Deck is not wanting to come back up. So Charlie will just stay up there. Let's keep moving. If I have to reset, then we'll do it here in a bit. But this is only the second time this has happened. It's too many times, but okay, I was changing these to 0.5. Hey, Latian. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And now let's see what this has done to our time. Now we do have to check a few other things. So we're down to 52 minutes here. And we're up to 11, that deck is right around 11 millimeters, cubic millimeters per second. What I always hear at work is get it, Mac. Device manager action scan for hardware changes might bring it back. Let's find out. Scan for hardware. So this is not back yet. Are we back? Hello? Okay, now we're back, I think. How many people? Oh, we lost almost everybody. Oh, that was not fun. But all the cameras are back. Unfortunately, I had to crash. Unfortunately, I had to crash Prusa Slicer, so we have to go through and redo all of that. But it should be a little quicker. Uh-oh. Okay, I left the stream playing on the other computer. Oh, no problem, Benjamin. Thank you, but that was not your fault. That was a good thing to try, and it's interesting to know for me what works and what doesn't work in the future. No problem. Charlie is not sitting in his normal spot. Let's see if I can get him to sit in his normal spot. See if he's willing to settle down. I don't think so. We'll see. He might. We are back. Okay, let me start up. We've got all the things working, so let's start up Prusa Slicer again and see how much of it was lost. Because I had to hard reset the computer. Oh, I'm afraid we probably lost all of it. Let's try this. And, oh, it looks like we're doing okay. Okay. Firecat, thanks for the gift of memberships. Okay, that was weird. Let's see what is left. So all of this did not change. So let me go through and speed run through the settings. Infill 10%, combine every 2 layers. Speed we're gonna change here in a bit. I'll leave that at 4,000. Infill 8,000. We're not really gonna have, I mean, it doesn't really matter. And 8,000. Member stream suggestion, building a desktop stream PC without Thunderbolt. Yeah, I don't know what is causing that. Maybe Charlie has rubbed against the connector too many times. I don't know. Lines infill is faster than cubic, okay? Let's go. Are you just talking about rectilinear? And then on filament settings, we're going to want to bump the temperature up a bit. I remember that from the last one I did. Oh, what's your objective today? Speed bencher or bed flanger? On a bed flanger, sort of. It's just we're just following up, just kind of talking about the Enderwire that I built last July before I hand it over to my friend. So that's it, Arthur. And Jamie G, Control-Alt-Delete wasn't responding. It was a hard crash. Cooling here, slow down if layer print time is below 15. We want to move this down to, I don't know if 5 is going to be a good number. And then where is it? Under advanced, max volumetric speed. This is a Dragonfly. I think we can go quite a bit higher than this. I don't know if we need to. I'm just guessing a number. Let's see what happens. Let's slice this. Oh, I need to actually add the model back in. And let's see what our print time looks like now. Do you ever call Charlie Charles if he misbehaves? No, I call him little shit. Here, we're at a 43-minute benchy, and I bet you that's more in the 30-minute range, just the way the times work out. 15, Delmar? What is our max right now? Let's go volumetric flow, and we're maxing out at 15 right now with these settings. So probably if at least according to the scale, and we're not actually hitting 15. We're only hitting like 9, it looks like, between 9 and 10 with these settings. Now we need to change our speeds. So we haven't even changed our speeds. Just read the articles on printables about printing your own guitar. I think I found my next big project. There you go. This is not intended to be this is intended to be a reasonable speedboat. So let's go back to print settings, and now we're going to set speeds. And I want my first layer speed to be a little higher. Oh, not 400, 40. And then we're going to leave our perimeters there and maybe try like bump up our infills a bit. And see where we get. So I want some level of quality on this. Let's see what this takes us to. Only 42. Where's our limit coming in? Maybe that what if I change this? Can I disable this? What if I just disable this and not let it That's 40 minutes. We're getting into the 12 cubic millimeters per second range. This, I bet you this is in the 42 is the answer. I bet you this is in the 30-minute range, Benchy. Let's see what this looks like. What do you think? Let's see what this looks like. By now it would have been printed, by the way. I know. We're trying to make something that actually looks like a Benchy here. We're not trying to do an actual speedboat Benchy. So understand, this is just trying to get something. We're going to make this move pretty good and see what happens. So let's just see. Let's see what happens. Let's upload this. I have seen Joseph's 3D Maker Noob Boron 2.4. It looks awesome. Disable auto fan. Enable auto cooling. Turn that off. 100%. Okay. $40 minutes. Let me send this back and let's get this started. Oh, I need to put some filament in it. I'm going to clean the bed and we're going to put the same filament in it I did for the for these other ones so we can compare it. So I'm going to go grab that. Oh, music is missing. Thank you. Let's turn that back on. We should have music here starting now. There we go. Now we have music. Thank you. And we're back up to almost 300. Are we up to almost 300 people now? That's not bad. Filament would be good. We can do an air Benchy, but I guarantee it'll look great. Where is my, is this it? There we go. This is probably one of my favorite colors of PLA, is this Brad's, what do we call this? Brad's Orange Glitter from Printed Solid. Jesse Brad's Orange Glitter. Probably one of my favorite PLA colors. And where did I put the spool holder? Here it is. There we go. Stream delay is a little higher now than it was before the crash. I don't know how to fix that. Is that all the way down? Yeah, okay. Oh. Did you eat all that acid? That's oh. Okay, back here. Let's go to here, and I'm going to preheat this thing, and I think 65 is what I've been running on the bed, so I'm going to change that, and I'm going to purge the filament in there. So user's end user with the delay. Try refreshing. That's a good point. There's possible. What spool holder is that? I need that on my tiny Trident. It's one that I mean the spool holder itself, the part that holds the filament, the end part here is just from Switchwire. This is a mod that's out there on Voron user mods. Delmar, did you see Edge of Text Dragster? Yes, I did. I did see Edge of Text Dragster. It's, yeah, I'm just starting. This is the third attempt. I couldn't get this roll bar to print without a bunch of, and I did try the Prusa Slicer Organic supports. So I did finally download that and try it. It's kind of neat. But yeah, I've just started printing all the bits and pieces for this. This is the first part I printed because I figured it was probably going to be the biggest pain. And it was. This was third try before I got that going. Panzercaden, welcome. So I'm just gonna manually purge this. I was going to manually purge this. What is going on? Do I have a clog? There we go. Okay, that's purged. Now let's get this back to just the, let it warm up. Crucial Slicer 2.6. Yeah, so I think I'm a beta version behind when I slice that too. I think there's a newer beta or alpha. Okay. So let's set this right here. Maybe move it back a little bit so I can get the camera up here. And let's go ahead and print. Let's just see what happens. Maybe angle this a little bit. Alpha 4 is out. I think I'm on Alpha 3. So I'm gonna start this print. So it's going to do its whole homing and stuff. Once it, what is it doing? Oh, it's waiting for the temperature, hot end temperature to come down. I use Stats for Nerds quite a bit. There we go. Home. That's the homing speed. Edge of 3D. Yeah, I got what you meant there, Delmar. I only do one sample on this. You either want to do just one sample, which is probably good enough, or the 3 sample. Because your first sample on all of these is usually off, but if you use just the first sample, it tends to be off consistently at least. Okay, it's gonna warm up. I guess I will get this camera going. Even though it's focus, it's probably gonna focus hunt. Hey, Zombie Hedgehog. I am not actually, I'm hoping to just use my exact same Death Racer I took to Earth, because I don't know that I have time to fit in that build if I'm gonna do the Dragster. My V0.2 now needs 95% fan instead of 75% to get the same results. Do you have similar problems? Dragon maybe too big for mini stealth burner? I'm not running a Dragon on any of my mini stealth burners. I've got Revos in all of them. So I haven't seen that. Can you use one sample for tap? It should be the same thing. This printer does not have tap. And the X-Rail is 300 millimeters long. Okay, let me get a view in here so I can see how this first layer is gonna go. And it's a little close, but I'm gonna leave it because that'll be good for adhesion. It's not too bad close. Let me check something here. Lights on? Oh, I don't have all the stuff turned on to do that one? No, I don't have all the stuff there to do stealth burner LEDs. Yeah, this camera just doesn't like to focus. Or it's hunting for focus. This hot end, no, this is this one is a Dragonfly, and that fan is bad for a little bit. Let me see if I can turn off. Someone mentioned turning off the autofocus. Oops, not that. Is that any better? It's not any better. Here, let's try this. Let's try this and at least get some view of how fast the tool head's moving. Can you actually disable noise canceling for a bit when printing fast? Let us hear the full speed glory of the Creality motors. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see. Suppression. How do I turn that off? Let's try that. Is that better? Is noise suppression off? DJ Natty, did that change? And let's move this right there. You hear it? How bad is it? Because I don't think it's bad right here. I don't think it's bad at all. We're at 5 minutes into this benchy. I don't think it's loud. I think the microphone is probably enhancing it. So, I would not have a problem with this printing. I mean, I don't have a problem with the printing in here. I think the mic is making it worse than it is, yeah. Is that a dual-sided PI sheet with texture on one side and smooth on the other? It is, Mr. Roboto. Okay, turn in the noise filtering back on. This is not using their original MCU. Cheap mics always enhance the high frequency. Well, I am using a Rode mic. The hot end fan probably needs, or the part cooling fan probably needs changed. And we can probably up the speed. We might do a couple of attempts here. Because this one, it's a little lacking in cooling on the bow, but the other sides are looking really good. We are at 7 minutes in at this point. The steppers aren't even warm. Yeah, none of them are even warm. When it was printing this lattice cube, this guy, many hours into it, I felt things. And I would say they were probably about 40 C on the XZ steppers and about the same on the Y. And then the extruder stepper was barely warm. I always heard how people would complain about how loud 3D printers were. I got my first few years ago and wondered, what are these people going to do when they have kids? Yeah. I'm late to the party, but does anyone make a kit for the bomb parts? Not for this, that I know of. Can you turn 45 degrees for cooling? Maybe. What are you hitting on your Excels? Let's see. Can we find that out from here? Where is the... I don't think it's actually showing... I don't know where it actually shows that. Oh, hey, Modbot. Welcome. A Monday stream, yep. Thanks, zombie. Banana to share. There's no banana. Oh, there it is. It's all the way on the other side of my screen. Max Excel to decel is 4,000. Max Excel is set to 8,000. It's not hitting that. It's loud. You remember times when we were, 4988s, yeah. Where are we at? We are at 10 minutes now and doing the deck of the ship. Where is Charlie? That's a good question. He cracked his eye open as I was setting up the camera. Bump Excel to decel up to max Excel to get some violence into the speed run. Input Shaper was only giving me about 4K Excel on the Y. This was telling me 8 was okay. That's what I set it to. And that was on the Y. The X would have been much higher. This is not the Enderwire I remember seeing. This is light blue. So this is the one I did back in July. I probably sent you pictures of the one I built recently. I'm gonna go with the let me see if I can find a picture and we'll just show it on the camera to screen. This is the Rev 2 that I built. Let's turn that so it's actually straight. This is the Rev 2 I built. It turned out pretty nice. Yep, I think I sent you pictures of that. This is Sparta's Sparkle Light Blue. Sparkle Sky Blue is what this is. And then just, I think it's just KVP Black is the main color. Yeah, my Enderwire was limited by YXL. XL is something stupid like 15K. Yeah. Was the grill printed? I can't recall from that stream. Yes. Yes, the grills are all printed. What filament is that blue? Oh, yeah. So Sparta filament is pretty reasonable in the US because of the exchange rate. If you order like last time I ordered 4 spools, it was right at $100, including shipping because of the exchange rate. No problem, Carl. I help where I can. Oh, the Rev 2 mesh. I did the same method that I did on the that I showed on the Tridex stream. No Polymaker draw today. You know what? I don't know. I kind of keep to the Sunday streams for the draws. I've never actually asked if it's every stream I do or if I'm limited. I just kind of figure it's Sunday streams. Zombie can probably tell me what I should be doing. Switching up the topic a bit, have you looked at downloaded the Merc one? I have not looked at the latest files. I'm about to though. I'm within a couple of weeks of starting to print all my files. But I have been in communication with Dutch Dude. So I'll make sure I have all the latest stuff by the time I go to do the build. Are there problems printing sparkle filaments on a 0.35 nozzle? I don't have a 0.35 nozzle. I've not had any problems on a 0.4 nozzle. I remember when I convinced Nero to try tuning Stealth Chop off live on stream, trying his little bonsai. I don't think it's Stealth Chop is enabled on this. I don't enable it on any of them. Oh, every stream if I want? What Zombie says? Okay. I will remember that. What do we have? We have 300 people here. Do I want to start one up right now? What do you think, Zombie? I have everything here. Can I do one right now? I mean, only if chat wants to. I think we should hear. Does chat want to do a Polymaker filament giveaway? I don't know if I should unless chat wants it. Stealth Chop blows for speed. It gave me serious issues. Yeah, that's why I just turned it off. It's not worth it. They're quiet even in spread cycle. No one wants free filament. Nobody does, so. Okay, let's see here. There we go. And pin the message. Okay, we'll do it. I've pinned the forum. We got one response. 2 responses. This is giveaway number 11. I'm not giving away 11 spools. It's giveaway number 11. We got 53 responses. Let's get, we have 300 people here. JB diffuser printer in orange. It gives a really nice color glow. Who opens a giveaway midstream? Apparently I do. I'm blaming you though. If Nick asks, I'm blaming you. How long are you planning on streaming? 4 to 5 hours or maybe like 2 to 3? What are we at? We're almost at 2 hours. We're probably gonna go, since I just opened up a giveaway, we're probably gonna let this print finish and then we're gonna turn the speed up a little more because this has not been very dramatic. And try one more print and then we'll do the giveaway. Same rules as normal though. I want you to be here to win. The SB logo, is it printed in orange? No, the diffuser is printed clear. It's just running I think I've got the color set to some close to orange. PF Tennis, thanks for the gift of memberships. I know the rails and steppers are just the bare metal color, but the silver blue looks super good. I'm pleased with how this printer turned out. I'm very pleased. It performs. It works well. It'll be a great printer for my friend. I just don't have room. That's impressive. The camera, I wonder how well the camera is picking it up, Wade. What I usually do is I go out to a Google search and I search for the hex, or not the hex, but the RGB values, whatever, for whatever color I'm looking for. And then I start tweaking them until it looks right. The interfaces, Fluid and Mainsail, have a color picker built into them now too. Any considerations to making a conversion like this an official option? No, it's a community mod. And it's great as a community mod. Brad, thanks for becoming a member. I see some ghosting. Do you really see some ghosting? How do the gifted memberships work? They're limited time memberships. They don't auto renew. Is the difference between a gifted membership and any other memberships. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. What time will the drawing be? I got to head into work and we'll be in and out of the stream. Let's set a time. So I'm going to do the drawing in 40 minutes. It is 11:50 right now where I'm at. I'm gonna do the drawing because that's true. I like to set a time. I don't like to keep people waiting. I'm gonna do it at 12:30 my time, and that'll be close to end of stream. I'm building a silver and blue legacy. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for the super chat. What amperage are you running the Creality steppers at? Gremlin Sports, we can check that. Yeah, we can check that right now. Go over here, let's go to machine and printer config. And I am running the X steppers at 0.5 amps, the Y stepper at 0.65 amps. It's a little larger stepper. It's physically a larger stepper. So 0.65 for the Y and 0.5 for the X and Z. Giveaway channels don't last. It's not the way the universe is just saying, oh no, this is not a giveaway channel. Is there much difference in print quality and speed versus stock Ender running Clipper? I would think so. Your Z motion can be much faster. What's the print quality looking like so far? It's actually looking really good. Well, you'll see it in just a minute. This is not this Creality stock board. It's a Big Tree Tech SKR Mini E3 V3. What are the green names? So Kyle, green names are channel members. And we are 22 minutes into this print. Giveaway channel memberships gifted here. Even after buying all the tools. Yeah, all the tools. I'm hoping to play around with my new tool today at some point. I bought a Festool track saw. So. Does the mainboard really make that big of a difference? The drivers might, especially in terms of noise. Kyle, you probably received a gifted membership then. So gifted memberships, like I said, are 30 days, 1 month. They expire after that. Stick around, you'll probably get a gift. Keep coming back. We're at over 200 likes. That's pretty awesome for a weekday stream. What's a good color scheme for a black frame 0.2? You can do anything with black frame. Have fun with it. How do I renew when the free runs out? There should be a join button somewhere around there. Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. What is Domino? Did someone talk about Domino last stream? I did not buy the long track yet, Bill Brothers. I have the 55-inch track, and I'll probably buy one more 55 and just call that good and just join them. Jokernut, thanks for the gifted memberships. I've been using a Makita track saw for panels, just as good as my table saw for non-repetitive cuts. Yep. The Makita was on my list. I just decided to go with the Festool. The extra little couple of things about it, some YouTube reviews I watched, kind of highlighted some of the little changes. Jokernut, thanks for being a member for 9 months. Domino's a special tenon. Oh, yeah, I don't have anything like that. This is at 25 minutes, and it's going to be right about a 30-minute benchy. Oh, what they're most famous for? Okay. Well, like I said last stream, the Festool, I don't know if this is definitely my first Festool. We'll see if it's the last. They're not cheap is the problem. If it's not the last, it'll be a good bit before it gets any company. I picked it up from the local Rockler store because that's who had it in stock, and I wanted to start. I'm building a new table for the Shapeoko CNC I have. What 5015 fan are you running on this printer for part cooling? One that I had on the shelf that apparently makes noise when it starts, so I need to swap it out before I give it to Eric. I don't know what brand it is. I don't know what fan I actually put in here. I didn't know it was going to make noise when I put it in. On your Trident build, did you lower the profile of the DIN rail mounts? I didn't change them. Whatever is out there in the GitHub repo is what I used, Eclipse. Why Festool over the new M18 that just came out? Is M18 the Milwaukee? Is that their cordless stuff? I didn't necessarily want cordless. I didn't want to add another battery into my system, and for something like this, the power corded is fine. If I understood what you said right. Remember, those rails can be used for other things too, like the routers, which can be very handy. Well, that now you're talking about buying things to fit into an ecosystem. Running a dust extractor with it. I will be trying to hook up my regular shop vac with the dust extractor system to it, but it's not going to be ideal. Modbot, thanks for the gifted memberships. For the CNC, did you check out the Ron Paul Torsion workshop? I have. I'm going to do something a little different from what those are. I'm going to do mine's a little more basic. Oh, I was probably talking about the 0.1 Eclipse. I did try some stuff for that, but I ended up not using DIN rails on the V0s. Leave the noisy fan in there to give your friend something to mod. Yeah, Zombie, we have a Rockler and a Woodcraft locally. Both of those can be spendy. Hey, Gerard. I was looking at the Festool dust extractors. That's a possibility. Yeah, and I might even be able to start using that hose on the CNC too. Double-sided tape the mounts. I did. I used the VHB for the mounts for the V0s. You can print a cover plate for the square hole for blade change. It will help with the dust. Okay, that's a good idea. 3D printing and tools channel. Well, I mean, Poity has been teasing me. I'm doing all this work in the other garage. It may be a little easier to do some streaming at some point over there. So, we'll see. The shelving pin variation. Okay, Bill. We recommend adding a cyclone to your shop vac. I did. I do have a dust deputy on there. I do. Wind Farms, thanks for becoming a member. You do it right, get the Bluetooth button add-on. It's amazing how useful that thing actually is. Okay, I saw that. The channel name already fits this description. Yeah, it's generic, Steve Builds. Doesn't matter if I'm building a 3D printer or a CNC or a table. I don't know. We're at 30 minutes right now. We're almost done. Gonna have to run another Wi-Fi AP out there. I get a good signal from my AP Pro out there. It is almost, I think after this, it's just, yep, it's just the smokestack. They're 31 minutes. That's why I made hedgehog bakes. There you go. I bought the Festool saw stop table saw. I'm really got my eyes on a saw stop. I have that there and there have been bitten by a table saw. So how much did this custom cost? I mean, it's 5 rails, extruder parts, cable chains, belts, pulleys. QC, thank you. Okay, it says 32 minutes on the thing. Let's see what the history says. We have got it says print time, 29 minutes and 50 seconds. That's pretty good. See, does this go? Oh, you're in South Korea. That's awesome. Time to go to bed at 5 a.m. Thanks for being here. There's an ad that kept getting shown to me of someone placing a hot dog on a table saw and watching the blade retract. Yep. Yeah, this was me being tired and being in a rush. And I had a V in my finger all the way up almost to the cuticle of my nail. Okay. Little bit of cooling, but that is, I mean, that's pretty darn good for a 30-minute benchy on a Ender 3 conversion. Cooling issues there. Hey, Big Sub Full from Italy. Welcome. So let's get this prepped for a little faster one, and then we'll do a filament giveaway. I'm gonna give that away in a little under 30 minutes, and that'll probably be the end of stream too. That's a very respectable 30-minute benchy. Let's look at the settings. Let's bring up. So these were the speed settings I used for that. They are not ridiculous. Bamboo Studio has a nice feature that just slows down overhangs. Oh, okay. Is there a link for the giveaway? It's in the pinned posts. So pinned post has the filament giveaway. This is Jesse's Brad's Orange Glitter PLA from Printed Solid. So what do we want to do? Let's just bump things up a bit. See how much quality we lose on the... I'm just going to bump these up and see where we're at. Top solid infill. Let's get this into, let's see what range this ends up being. I bet you we can go a little faster on that first layer too. And let's change, our travel speeds aren't going to be any real consideration. Let's slice it and see where we're at. Print yourself a feather lock for the small things on the table, circular saw. Yeah. This says 38 minutes. This will be considerably, so this will probably be like a 25-minute benchy. Just cap your flow to like 14 and go fast. Well, what is this hitting? Do we have anywhere where it's hitting? Yeah, a couple of spots where it's hitting 18 according to that, but only a couple of spots. I am familiar with Brad's story. David we talked about that at IRF. We had a good conversation about that, the whole story behind Brad's filament. Let's bump this up a bit more. I'm going to leave external parameters at 100. Let's go this. Slice. 18 is a bit much for a dragonfly. Let's see what it does. It says 38 minutes. Let's just send it and see what it looks like. This is a 200, this is just a plate that I bought on Amazon. Hey, David. Upload. And maybe we can play with the speed on the display to see what it looks like. Some of the filament stuff out of the way. Let's go to G-code files. And this is the one I just uploaded. So let's go ahead and hit print. I might play around, like I said, I might play around with speed on the display. Should be 45 degrees. Should I try this at 45 degrees? I've already started the print. Nearly 69 hours of print time. I've already started the print. We'll leave it. But yeah, nope. A little bit of ringing right there. Not bad. A little bit of cooling issues there. smokestack turned out good. Go 45. Okay. That means I have to pause. All right, let's go here. It's gonna do its homing thing. Oh, maybe it paused. Let's rotate this thing to 45. Slice it. Go 45. It says 36 minutes. Let's go back to here. Nope, not that one. Let's go stop. Cancel the print. Okay. Now we send this upload. Uploaded. And now let's 1208. Let's print that. Let's see some other goes fast things while it's printing, something like a dragster. Well, I showed it, Scott. I showed, this is the only thing I've printed of it so far, though. I did show this off a little bit ago. Yep. I've started, before stream, I started the second, the drive, the rear piece, but something happened. The first layer failed, so I need to investigate that after. That was the part printed on the Mini? No, that I printed on a V2. This I printed on a V2. This is third attempt. I had a hard time with this, the roll cage overhangs. So this was actually, this prompted me to download the new Prusa beta with organic supports, and I just loaded it up. It worked pretty well. That was the blue V2. Let's see what we got here. Let's check our first layer, make sure we are. Yeah, it's sticking good. This PEI works pretty well. Yeah, we're gonna have a good stick. Trying to do work, doing what I tell my employees are not allowed to do. Does the orientation influence the speed? I think it's a bit more for cooling. And there goes that loud part cooling fan. It'll quiet down here in a minute. Here, you guys want to hear the loud part cooling fan? Watch your headphones, okay? Here's the warning. There's a warning, headphones warning. Oh, it's already starting to quiet down, but you might be able to hear that. Oh, hey, I attracted the bots. It's another benchy. We just upped the speed a little bit. Let me turn this filter back on, and then I'll get rid of the bots. There we go. There we go. Bots should be gone. What brand fan is it? I don't remember. I don't remember what I put in there. Whew. This one is moving a bit quicker. Time for some Fabrico P-Series fans. They have new fans? Hey, Mastermind. Yeah, this is moving significantly quicker than the last one. Are deltas worth it? Some of the deltas are really nice. I've used some. I don't know if it's worth it. This is probably a win-sin from Amazon. You're probably right, Nicholas. I did increase the speeds quite a bit. This is benchy number 2. And then in about 17 minutes, we're gonna do a Polymaker filament giveaway. The link is in the, it's pinned. Not in the description, it's pinned. On sale today for President's Day? I might have to check that out. Whew. I mean, it is the stock Ender steppers. This is pretty good. Joshua, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The win-sins, they'll probably work well for a while. Then you just swap it when it gets noisy. There are better fans for general just cooling, but if you're doing mostly ABS, you're probably fine. When you think you're going to build Boop on the Micron, we assembled the main part of Boop yesterday. Here, let's see if I can. Nice thing about Micron. Oh. Let's see if it'll focus. There it is. There's Boop. That's Boop Beta 3, which should be out pretty soon. When is the Discord server going to go up? When I get time to configure it. That's it. It's all on me. I have to set up some rules, set up some reaction-based roles, and then we'll just, I'm going to get it to a minimum point, and then we'll just let it evolve from there. Yep, Mastermind, that's Mastermind's design. The Boop. Do the updated Z bed parts improve tap performance at all? What's Z bed parts? Tracking down different things with tap, and would like to know if that's something I should be looking at replacing. I don't know what Z bed parts. That's for Beta 3 for Boop, not for tap. Is that not space gray frame on the Micron? It is a space gray. If you need help with Discord, drop me a message. Yes, I appreciate the help. I've had a few people reach out. Use ChatGPT to set the rules. Currently running the Honey Badger fans on the self burner I just built and the Mercury 1.1. They seem to be working well. Oh, that's a good point. Maybe I'll order them with the idea of using it on the Mercury and then order an extra to use in other things. Trident R2. And the bed extrusions from Trident R2. Is there a Trident R2? I thought it was R1. We are at 8 minutes into this benchy. Oh yes. So Mastermind has a good point. Go Doom Cube. If you go to any of my Micron streams, there's a link to the Doom Cube Discord. Go there if you have questions. That's another thing I'm hoping my Discord helps with, is helps with my DM inbox. Max, welcome. Everybody say hi, Max. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this printer. So this is going to be a great printer for Eric. Let's see what the bow definitely doesn't look as good as the last print. That overhang does look worse, but it's printing. Are you kidding? I put the dancing max up. Have you had any issues with the keyback not being strong enough to support the X gantry? No, it's fine. Are those stock Ender motors with pressed on pulleys? They are actually. I pulled the pulleys off. Just finished my Trident, now printing parts for my second one. Awesome, John. A stronger 5015 would benefit a ton for fast PLA. I mean, that's a good, I will put a better part cooling fan on here, since this is mostly gonna see PLA and PETG. And maybe a little bit of TPU. But this is 10 minutes in now, and it's well past the deck. We say tap does tap dancing. What do we say boop does? Bebopping? Boop, boop, beep, 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 bop. No issues with the rounded shaft and set screw going into it? Nope. I just tightened it down nice and tight. I'm pretty sure I used Loctite on these. I'll probably check that to see if I did before I hand it over. I want to do it on a CR10. Yes, there have been people that have done CR10 to Switchwire conversions. So after yesterday's stream, I ended up ordering most of the stuff for a Micron. Nice. I expect to really like the Micron. Okay, 10 more minutes. So there's a pinned post for a Polymaker Filament giveaway. We're gonna do that drawing in 10 minutes. And see if we can get any kind of a look from this direction that's reasonable. Curious why the 1515 profile for V0 and Micron 2020 doesn't seem to be that much bigger, heavier. Well, Sergey, if you're gonna build a 2020 Micron, that's a V2. Bed size of the Micron is gonna be a 180. It'll be a 180 cube. I use a die grinder to grind a small flat in the stepper shaft before installing pulleys on the Creality steppers. You can. And I don't remember, I've done some grinding on pulleys. I don't remember if I did that on these or not. See it, Shemi? Micron is the newest printer. Micron is a community mod. It was done by Hart K, who is a Voron team member. He built it before becoming a team member. But it's still in the printers for ants category. There's a 235 Ender 3 size root conversion already. What's the difference between the micron versus solid fork? Between the micron versus solid fork as far as performance? I would imagine similar to between V2 and Trident. Very little difference, if any. The micron in its larger size is larger than the solid fork. Solid fork tops out at 160. The micron is 180. There's a draw for this stream. Yep, Crystal, Zombie said I could do a draw for this stream, so we set one up. There is a link in the pinned post. Top of chat. You did not grind these steppers. You said at the time you would try to get away without grinding, and then you'd grind them if it became necessary. And so far, it hasn't been necessary. But I am handing it off to a friend. It's got about 70 hours of print time on it now without a problem. But since I'm sending it off, I'll probably grind them and redo them. I don't have a total cost on this conversion. Just kind of, it's going to vary depending on what parts you buy, where you buy them. Do you feel there would be a print difference in quality between the Mini Afterburner and the Mini Stealth Burner? Part cooling should be better on the Mini Stealth Burner. So as far as just the extruder, it's the same BMG guts. But for part cooling, you should have better on the Mini Stealth Burner. Just finished VL69 using an ender bed. Might have to do an ender wire next. Well, VL001, much to I'm sure Max's annoyance, has an ender bed. So when are we getting printers for T-Rexes? Soon, right? So there's 2.4 and its little brother Micron, Trident and its little brother Solid Fork. Switchwire's little brother will be Micro Switch is a good name. I know that someone has made a mini Switchwire. I don't remember who it is or where you can find info on it, but I know it's been done. Yeah, Crystal, since this was a midstream, last minute ad, I just put the pinned post. Which build surface do you prefer on your Trident for ABS? I really like the Prusa textured sheets. I put a Prusa textured sheet on all of my 250 builds. I have a 300 sheet, which is a discontinued one from Matter Hackers. It's very similar to the Prusa sheets. So I use that on one of my 300 builds. And then I do like the Fabrico P series satin sheets. I use that on a V0, and I have a 300 sheet for one of the others. Those are the main ones I use. I'm about to try on the Micron this Dark Rock. This is LDO's textured sheet. It looks good, but I don't have any actual experience with it yet. I'm thinking about getting a cast aluminum bed for my ender wire. That's heavy, so just be aware you're gonna have an impact, a negative impact on performance doing that. Link to the giveaway is just floating at the top of the chat window. It won't let me copy paste it. It's over 300 characters. Here's what I'm gonna do. We've got 4 minutes until the giveaway. We have quite a number of responses, but let me go in here and add it to the description. Okay, it's in the description now as well. So refresh and you should see it in the description. And let me know if for some reason it doesn't work. Oh, and it won't, Dweens, it won't let you post a link anyway in chat. YouTube filters out links from non-moderators. Cleaning my textured sheet with isopropyl seems to have destroyed my adhesive permanently. Do some non-additive, like Dawn basic dish soap. Here, for anybody who wants, here's the giveaway link again. Just the link itself. We are at 19 minutes and we're well into the cabin. Your PTFE jig guide is at the right length for, it's 15 millimeters wide. It wasn't intended to be a measuring device. It's just to help cut filament square. It's not meant to be a size thing on the little jig that I posted. This is stock steppers, yep. And they are, here, let me see if I can get any kind of a reading. They are, I am seeing a maximum of 39 C in temperature. That one got up 42. The rear one is 40, so they're not hot. They're in the 40 C range. Yeah, they are not hot. And the Stealth Burner stepper isn't, it's even cooler than those. And I'm running the X and Z steppers, which were the what were these? X and Z on the Ender, I believe. I'm running them at 0.5 amps. And the Y I'm running at 0.65. And those are mostly arbitrary numbers that I entered when we built this, and they've worked fine. What bit do you use for the chamfer on the Capricorn tube? I bought I think it's a 60-degree bit off of Amazon. I just use one of these. And I just do it by hand. Here. There. This is what I bought, if that helps. You can pause that later if you need to. I have low reception. I hope it doesn't drop out due to the draw. Oh, we're timed for the draw. So let's go. Link is now in the pin post and the description. Let me pull up so I will close this when we haven't had a new response in 3 seconds. So we are at 3, 2, 1, and I'm closing responses. Oh, we got a new one. 3, 2, 1, and I'm closing it now. Yep, okay, responses are closed. Let me bring this up. Create that. This is probably going to finish by the time we actually do the drawing. You didn't enter? I'm sorry. Let's go here. Wheel of names. And paste that there. I'm sorry, Polar Ted. Okay. Let's do a number between 1 and 11. Someone said that earlier. Let's do a number between 1 and 11. We are at 24 minutes on this benchy. We weren't gonna do a drawing projects in Dad's garage, but Zombie said I could, so we got it set up a little over an hour ago. All the 42s coming through. I saw an 84 as well. Let's go 6. Okay, we're gonna shuffle this 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and spin. Let's get the timer going. We got a 2-minute timer for, who do we have? Dylan G, are you here? I've started the timer. Dylan G, tag me, say something, someone will notice ya. Dylan G, let's go back to watching this finish up. Dylan G, are you here? Oh, and Charlie's gone. Congratulations, Dylan G. Are you here? Dylan? Dylan? Is it Dylan? Dylan. Dylan G. Charlie wants out. Let's see. Dylan G, you got a minute. I'm gonna let Charlie out. Keep an eye out for Dylan. They're here? Awesome, congratulations, Dylan. Let me copy this. Let's see if we have a good email. Awesome, congratulations. Good job. Let's finish up this print. Cancel my timer. Awesome, awesome. Congratulations. We are at 26 minutes. I was gonna increase the speed in the middle of this. I never got around to it. It went by too fast. So Dylan, you'll get an email from me probably later today. I need to catch up on yesterday's email too. It'll have a link to a form. If you're in the US or Canada, you'll get a $35 gift card and a free shipping, or $35 coupon and a free shipping coupon. If you're outside the US and Canada, you'll get to select a spool to be sent to you. Glass or carbon fiber nylon for tap parts. Nylon in general is not a great idea for printer parts because it tends to creep over time. Even the carbon fiber stuff. How did my son's paintball birthday go? And Arthur, are you the one whose birthday is tomorrow? He had fun. He had a lot of fun. I'm disappointed. He came home without any welts. So, housekeeping, unpin the link. Thank you. Thank you, Andres. Thanks for a nice Monday extra stream. Awesome. You're welcome. So this finished. Let's see how long, what did this say it was? Let's go to history. That was a 26.5 minute benchy with a little string out the top. Still not bad. A little worse on the bow, but everything else is not bad. 26.5 minute benchy. You forgot to enter. Funny. Yeah. I mean, and stock Creality Ender3 steppers. And, oh, it's a 2-layer brim, or not brim, but skirt as well, because I do that because it's easier to take off, especially when it's accidentally too close. Yeah, and that's a bummer. You got to get the welt or you're not playing. I know, I agree. Whose birthday is tomorrow? Someone said their birthday was tomorrow. Do you think the 45 degree made any difference? I don't know. I'd have to print it again at 90. This is significantly faster, but does polycarbonate have the same issues as nylon for printer parts? Polycarbonate has its own issues. It can get brittle over time, but I have used polycarbonate for like tool heads and stuff. So anyway, let's go back. Thank you for joining me. I am sorry it took so long to do a follow-up on this build. We completed this build at the end of July, and I had promised to follow up, and now we've done that. So we have a nice working printer. I have printed, like I said, about 70 hours worth of stuff. I printed some Christmas gizmos or gadgets for folks. And now it's gonna go off to my friend. So with that, a little 2.5-hour weekday stream. We are going to be doing any of the new members. Thank you for anybody who donated memberships or became members today. The member stream will be Saturday. I don't yet know what we're covering. Maybe if I get enough of this printed, we'll start playing around with assembling this. But I don't know that I'll get enough of that printed. We'll see. We'll find something. Thanks again. And we will see you either Saturday or Sunday. We'll be continuing the Micron. So have a good week. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you next time. Bye.